It's not a good image for our sport, that's for sure. There's a consensus, or I would say a majority of the players that I've talked to in the locker room, not just in the last few days, but also last few months, that are not happy with the way this whole process has been handled. The majority of the players doesn't feel that it's fair. Majority of the players feel like there is favorism happening. It seems like it appears that you can almost...
Welcome to Flixnet. Today we're diving into why Djokovic seems so obsessed with Jannik Sinner's case. Is this really about justice, or just about not being able to accept it? Novak Djokovic recently spoke out about the doping ban given to Jannik Sinner, and his reaction has sparked a big debate in the tennis world.
Novak, you seemed a bit upset in that second set. What happened in this match?
Why? What was I upset? For what?
The doping case involving Jannik Sinner has sparked a heated debate in the tennis world about fairness and consistency in enforcing anti-doping rules. Sinner, the world's #1 tennis player, was handed a 3-month ban after testing positive for clostebol in March 2024. Even though the World Anti-Doping Agency, WADA, acknowledged that Sinner had no intention of cheating and that the substance got into his system unknowingly due to a mistake by a team member, many people feel that the punishment was too lenient. Novak Djokovic, one of tennis's biggest icons, openly criticized the decision. He said that most players feel there's favoritism in the sport's anti-doping system, where top-ranked players with access to the best lawyers can influence the outcome of their cases. Djokovic emphasized the need to reform the anti-doping system to ensure fairness for all athletes, regardless of their ranking or status. Novak Djokovic's reaction to this case is definitely interesting. Instead of backing the decision made based on existing regulations, he went all in with sharp criticism. Djokovic believes that the punishment given to Jannik Sinner highlights inconsistencies in the system, even going so far as to accuse officials of giving Sinner special treatment. But here's the big question. Why is Djokovic so fixated on this case? Is this really about fairness, or is there something else driving his reaction?
And an incredible admission from tennis legend Novak Djokovic. He says he's still scarred by his deportation from Australia in 2022 over his COVID vaccination status and even going through Aussie passport control.
If we take a step back and look at Djokovic's journey in tennis, one of the toughest periods in his career happened during the COVID-19 pandemic. At that time, he had to deal with strict policies imposed by multiple countries. One of the biggest controversies was his ban from entering Australia due to vaccination rules. And that wasn't just any country. It was Australia, where he holds the record for the most Grand Slam titles. That decision was a major blow, not just to his career, but also in the wider debate about athletes' rights and global health policies. But when you compare that situation to Sinner's case, they're actually very different. Djokovic faced the consequences of national health policies, while Sinner was handed a relatively light punishment after testing positive for a banned substance, though the anti-doping agency stated he had no intention to cheat. From Djokovic's perspective, it probably feels like there's an imbalance in how the rules are applied to different players. So, the big question remains. Is Djokovic speaking out purely in defense of fairness in sports? Or is this more about personal frustration and dissatisfaction? There's no denying that he has a history of challenging systems he sees as unfair. But at the same time, it's also possible that feelings of resentment and past experiences are influencing his reaction to this situation. At the end of the day, this debate is open to multiple perspectives. Some people might side with Djokovic, believing that the anti-doping system in tennis still has loopholes that allow for favoritism. Others, however, might argue that his response is more emotional and shaped by his own past struggles, making it less objective. Whatever the case, this controversy brings attention, once again, to the importance of transparency and consistency in sports. After all, no athlete should feel like they're being treated unfairly or held to different standards. So, what do you guys think? Is Djokovic really standing up for fairness in sports, or is this more about frustration and jealousy because he feels like he was treated differently? Sure, the situations aren't exactly the same, but feeling like you're being held to a different standard can definitely trigger an emotional reaction. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Do you think this is favoritism, or is Djokovic just taking things too personally? Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more updates on the tennis world. See you in the next video.